concern. Okay, cross-cutting concern actually is no concern, as I said, it will appear, okay, in different module. Let's say security. Okay, let's say for example, security. Whenever you do something in your system, regardless of which part of system, maybe they will check what you are doing. Understand? Or logging. Okay, in this case, are you going to implement the same coding? Okay, the same coding. Okay, write the same coding in each of the module. Definitely no, right? Isn't it? So how are you going to do this? How are you going to separate it? When is a suitable time to call a suitable point to call this, execute this kind of function? Then you can use the aspect-oriented design strategy. Understand? Okay. So, and cross-cutting concern, okay, will lead to two major issues. One is the scattering. One is the tangling. Scattering means that the functions or the code okay, scattered or distribute happen, okay, in different module. Understand? The same code happen in different module. For tangling means that one functions or one module that try to fulfill more than one requirement. Function actually is to perform one task, then have to fulfill more than one requirement. Okay, so this is called tangling. Okay, so and then the next one we study is the service-oriented architecture. Service-oriented architecture, actually we design the system by, okay, identify or creating the service, okay, that we require. Maybe we can just link to the particular service and so on. And your microservices actually is the extent of this service-oriented. Understand? Okay. Now, question 1. Function-oriented compare with object-oriented. So it's a divide and conquer. Okay. Similar function, you provide me the instruction. This is from the note. Object-oriented. Okay. So many. Okay. So number 2, compare contrast between the following top-down and bottom-up. This one we have studied in your chapter 1 already, chapter 2 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, top-down and bottom-up. So we start top-down. We start with high level, and then we slowly go down into the Q level or lowest functions or module. Bottom-up is we start with the minor or the lowest level of the module or function. Then we try to build up and integrate, build up towards the higher level. Understand? Okay. Difference between component and object. Actually, it's quite almost the same. Okay. So what is object? Let me see. Last one. Object are all entity involved in the solution design. Object communicate by calling on service offer rather than that. Okay. Now, object actually is the entity. Okay, in the system. Okay, it's in the system that portray the real world entity. Okay, so this is object. Object consists of attribute and their method. Okay, however, component actually is independent looking unit. In this component, okay, may consist or may use, okay, a set of object. Understand? In order to perform their tasks. Okay, so sometimes component may also can consider as an object also can. Okay, what is component diagram? Component based design. Okay, so this component based design, we design the system in a way that the system actually is made up of component. Okay, then in this case, and then component can communicate through the interface provided by the component. Okay, a component is an independent working unit. Okay, the idea is actually to reduce the coupling between, okay, the unit of the system, and also because of this failure of the OOD in facilitating the reusability. Okay. Number 5, quality concern. AP is quality concern, no ma. Business logic, performance, is it quality concern? I see someone is tapping, haven't finished yet. Okay. So quality concern normally is referring to those concern, let's say the performance, okay, the availability, okay. So these are all quality concern. So identify and describe different types of stakeholder concern that may arise. Why this one? Go on, Go on, Aspect oriented or this one. Okay, this one. This is the stakeholder concern. Okay, functional concern, quality of service, policy, system concern, okay, organization concern. So this is the stakeholder concern. Okay. So, and discuss what you mean by cross-cutting. This one we have discussed already just now. Okay, and what is tangling and what is settling. Okay, I also have discussed already. Okay, in this class, compare and contrast component and service oriented. What is the difference? Where you get this one? Component-based design and object-oriented architecture. So, component-based actually is more emphasized on the component module, each component. Services, actually services is an independent service. But actually somehow a service can be a component. Okay, a service can be a component. Okay, so reuse, I encourage use for both. Okay, communication through interface, deployment. If your component is an assembly component, means is the part of a certain component, it can directly communicate. Understand? Okay. So deployment, okay, is normally is on a monolithic application. Service is independently deployed. Okay. So and then what is this one? Scalability. Component can be scaled individually, services can be scaled independently. Flexibility, I guess both is more flexible, understand? Most flexible, okay? Dependency, component may have tighter dependency, services may have loose couple dependency, okay? Now number 10, stock purchase invoice. This is the problem here. What is the problem? In the design here, you can see login scattering appeared in all the classes here. Can you see that? It's a cross-cut concern. Login. You see that login happen in stock, happen in purchase, happen in invoice. Okay, so it's not a good practice. Okay, so it's a scattering, and then the other problem is